right-hander out of Pepperdine University, jumping on the Firebirds Extra pregame show with myself, Kevin Fitzgerald. It's Corey Miller now here with us. And Corey, this team has won 8 straight games. How did this happen so quickly? You guys have clinched a playoff berth. You guys are really rising to the top of the Eastern Division standings. How did this happen so quickly?
You know, we're not even really thinking about the win streak. We're just going out there having fun every single game. Everyone's into it. Everyone's just buying into it, and we're all just getting hot, ready for the playoffs to come.
Now, you're one of the top 3 pitchers on this staff right now. You've had a solid season all throughout your Cape League season. And when you're not pitching during this stretch, I want to know, have you seen anything different on the mound from guys coming out of the bullpen? Is there a different approach during this stretch that you guys have reeled off 8 straight? Have you seen anything different from the dugout, from some of the arms on the mound?
Well, I think I'm seeing a lot more fight in the guys. I mean, everyone wants to get their opportunity out here, and they want to do well. So they want to do well so they get more opportunities. And I think everyone's fighting just to get in the game because they want to prove what they have, and they want to be a part of what we're doing right now.
Corey Miller here with us. You're the team's wins leader at this point in this season. You're off to a tremendous start. I want to focus on, what was the one thing that you, when you came up to the Cape, that you wanted to work on? What was the one thing that you said to yourself when scouts see me pitch, I want them to be blown away by this element of my game? What was that?
Well, the past 2 years at Pepperdine, I've really relied on my fastball and slider. So I wanted to come out here and develop a changeup first and foremost, but also a curveball just to kind of slow the bats down to the hitters, slow their visual down, and just get the extra speed differential between the fastball and off speed. And Brownie and Kelly have been great helping me throughout this whole process of getting those pitches, and they've been really effective for me out here. It's been great.
You got an interesting story. You're someone who's already been drafted, had thoughts of playing professional ball this past year. Instead, you decided to come back to Pepperdine for one more season. So really coming here this summer, you want to impress the scouts to try and boost that draft position for this upcoming year. I'll touch on that in a second. Let's look at your Pepperdine season from this past year. You had a sub-3 ERA, #1 starter for your rotation. You started as a reliever throughout your high school and then early collegiate career. What was that transition like to a starter over the last couple seasons at Pepperdine?
Well, I've always been a starter in my young career, and when I was in the pen, I mean, it was fun, but I knew I was always a starter because I knew I had the stamina for it, and I just loved being out there for a long amount of time. So it's really different being in the pen compared to being a starting pitcher, because as a starting pitcher, you know your routine, you know when you're going to pitch, you know when you can lift hard and when you can run hard, where in the bullpen you have to be ready to go at all times. So
I'm curious, did you give any of the guys that are normally starters here on the Firebirds that are spending some time in the bullpen any advice for that kind of transition when they come up to the Cape and are coming out of the bullpen instead of normally starting like they would have?
I mean, basically just go out there and just attack with whatever you got. I mean, get ahead early, just try and get quick outs for you guys to come back in, because the infielders and outfielders, they don't want to be out there for a long amount of time. The longer they're out there, the more tired they get. So just trying to attack the hitters and just try and get quick outs.
You guys have been doing that the last week and a half or so. It's an 8-game win streak for the Firebirds, and Corey Miller, the right-hander out of Pepperdine, joining us here in the Firebirds Extra pregame show. Corey already mentioned it. You were drafted this past season, 16th round for the Milwaukee Brewers. You had thoughts of possibly turning pro, going to play minor league baseball. What was the one reason why you decided to come back to Pepperdine for your senior year?
I think it was that business degree. I've been working towards that the last 3 years, and I know that having that as a backup plan and not having to worry about that in the minors would be huge for me. If I were to get drafted this next year and signed, then I wouldn't have to worry about it in the offseason. So that was definitely a positive or a plus to look at, and you know, I wanted to get the experience of going back for another senior year, because I mean, I can get drafted next year, but I can't, if I sign, I can't go back for my senior year again and get that experience. And I know there's a lot more I can still do at Pepperdine.
And you were the one that told me that it just never felt right to sign that contract and make that commitment to play pro balls. It's Corey Miller here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. First pitch is coming up at 7 o'clock right here at Eldridge Park. What was the one piece of advice, I'm curious, whether you got from friends or family, that really hit home during that whole process, during the negotiation period, deciding whether to stay or go? Was there one piece of advice that stood out where you said, you know what, that's the reason why I'm going to stick?
There's been quite a few people. I talked to Al Leiter when he was out here, talked to Jamie Moyer back home, his son is on our team, and talked to Kelly out here, and all of them said, do what's right for Corey. and I think I did the right thing, and I'm really happy with my decision.
I'm sure Al Leiter and Jamie Moore are going to be proud of you as well. You're going to have one more season at Pepperdine, as it's Corey Miller here joining us in the Firebirds Extra pregame show. I got to ask, you like to surf? You're a California guy. Now, Riley Moore's a surfer for your Firebird squad as well. Who's better? You guys go one-on-one at the surf in the Atlantic Ocean or something?
I'm going to have to say Riley's much better. I just started these past couple years, so I'm still just riding the smaller waves, but Riley shreds those waves. He gets pitted, I guess, is what Southern California would say.
You guys, there are a lot of California guys on this roster. I'm sure all you guys like to dabble in the surfing. As it's Corey Miller here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show with myself, Kevin Fitzgerald. First pitch is coming up at 7 o'clock right here at Eldridge Park. And Corey, as always, thanks for stopping by, bud. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.